to cover something that nobody but me has made. What we are covering is this unnamed model of a knife. To give you a backstory, I contacted a knife maker a long time ago. Just happened that my kids live in the area, so killed two birds, one stone. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. I wanted to make a knife. Now, mind you, there is nothing perfect about this knife. I worked my ass off on this knife with the help of the maker, which I will give credit to. So I made this, and if you can guess, I would assume you would, when you see this, please put in the comments below what maker you think helped me make this. For those who do know, well, you already know. So what this is a sheep's foot knife that I made. Now, mind you, I put a ZT clip on it because I had an Emerson clip. We'll go over that. This is a knife I made in Alan Fulton's shop. Alan was gracious enough to let me come over. I spent roughly 4 or 5 days with him making a knife. Super awesome course. He broke it down Barney style. For those who don't know, Marines don't know how to count, so it's very simple. He broke it down simple. Alright, so what we have is, just to go over the specs, we have a titanium liners with titanium backspacer, with titanium pivot, and stainless steel screws on the scales and between the liners. We'll go over that in a little bit. There is also a... everything on here was raw materials. I will post some of the pictures in there as well. You will see from blank titanium, plates and steel to this finished product actually works. All right, so what we did is we went over various things. I told him I wanted to make a knife. He just said, okay. He handed me a couple of diagram tools, i.e. some stuff to make it with, circles and lines. And he said, what do you want to make? So we figured out, already into the kind of blade shape. I went with a 154 CM, so the CPM 154 blade steel. That is not acid etched. It is not acid etched. I don't know the concoction he uses, but he uses a concoction that it darkens the steel. It does not cause it to be corrosive, so there's no... it's not a reductive method in the sense of putting it in, what is it called? I'm going to remember it sooner or later. It's not like putting it in ferric acid. I went with orange G10 because I don't know why, I just felt like it was going to be appropriate. And I went with titanium liners. Now, everything on here was hand done, so went through it. Definitely a learning experience. A lot more pieces of, it was basically a lot of measure, cut, fuck, gotta remeasure again. I think the only thing I really did mess up on this was initially when I was doing, I believe it was this part of the scale, when I was doing the pilot holes for it and the countersinking, I was off. So the holes that they're in right now, one of the holes that I was drilling was off, so it didn't line up with the hole underneath it to allow where I tapped and drilled it to for the scale to sit. Alan is probably the most patient knife maker I have ever seen with his shop. We went through and he showed me how to hand jimp these. Now, mind you, this is not with a file. This is actually with a Dremel. And his method of doing it, I totally fucked it up right here. You can see right here in the beginning. So straight. Fuck me. So there was like kind of doubled up on them. These were hand ground on a wheel. As you can see, he's wavy as shit right there. But I want to say almost equal on both sides. You can definitely tell there's more, it's a sharper angle coming in here and slightly higher, but let's say 1/32 higher, and it swoops in, so it's a lot easier on that point. He keeps everything standardized, so it's super easy to learn. I messed up on the wheel here. As you can see, it dips in a little lower. Definitely came too close on the contouring right there, and a little flatter here. So definitely a lot of stuff. There's had a hand file the stop here. Yes, he had a CNC, but that we did his. So he does this thing in here where he lock face and then an area to oil. Definitely super snappy. It's got a ceramic detent in there. 154 cm, like I said. I like it. Kind of reminds me of that buzzard from the Looney Tunes. If you want, I'll post a picture. But there's that, and then just definitely a lot more respect for knife makers out there. You already had a lot of respect for a lot of knife makers out there, but you got to realize it's not an easy thing for you guys to just say, hey, I want this. So like, I do now understand a lot better when people are like, hey, can I just, I see this blade shape, and technically I could throw a tanto in here because I can go here and then cut it down to here and then make it like that triangle shape from like Americanized tanto. But the problem is then that fucks up the internals, how your backspacer, because I had to cut the back after cutting it, putting it together, pushing it, putting it together with the plexiglass model to see how it fits. There was a lot of oh shit, I gotta move this or I gotta move that, or I have to understand that. Making sure that was available was a big feature that I was like, oh, I want to have that dip in. So I kind of hand sanded it down right here to put that dip in there. So yeah, you guys will, if you ever want to truly understand what these knife makers go through, make a knife, especially a folder. Don't get me wrong, fixed plates have their own issues, but folders are definitely a challenge in themselves. Added a swedge. If you look real close, you can tell that this right here kind of comes straight and then it swoops out a little different angle here, so it doesn't match. So that was a whoopsie. You can see that wavy line. By no means, you see this straight line. So Alan making sure it didn't fuck up again. So it's definitely a learning process. Definitely love learning from Alan, learning what there is to do out there. You guys check these out. Not this out, but check out Alan's stuff. He's always doing drops of his knives, custom versions. So go ahead, guys. Help me name this model that and you can tell that like definitely has that Allen Foltz handle. The way he doesn't believe his straight handles. Alright guys. You have a good night.